They say this is a big rich town. I've just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city light, I gotta make it, this is where it goes down. I just happen to come apart. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it.
What's good, family? Welcome back to another episode of Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. Chrissy's here. Jeff is here. We are here to recap Power, Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 4, Episode 7. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Shout out to everybody in the chat joining us on a special Tuesday edition of Power After Hours. Thank y'all for always locking in with us, getting live, talking up. Maybe for some of y'all who can't catch us on Monday, you're here today, and we'd love to see it. Shout out to the people listening in audio form on the podcast, the OG podcast, and we are everywhere where you get your podcast. For those of you watching on YouTube and the replay gang, y'all all here at different points in times, converging with us to talk about some Raising Kanan. Chrissy, how you feeling?
Feeling good, man. It's a Tuesday night. Feels weird to say that, but I mean, I feel like our regular people up in here. I'm seeing the chat. I'm seeing all our regular names. It is good to see y'all. Happy to be here. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Refreshed.
No,
Are you?
Are you? Because you've been living the best life.
I don't know about all of that. Living the best life. I mean, I was living a life, living a good life, living a busy life. Had to do some work over the weekend. I was traveling. I actually hit up WrestleMania in Vegas over the weekend and had to work that event. So that's why y'all didn't get Power After Hours on Monday, because I didn't have nothing left. I had no powers. I had no hours left for me for the weekend. I ain't watched the show. So I had to watch. I had to give myself some time to recuperate. And we're here now. So, but I'm glad I just finished watching a little while ago. Really dope episode.
Yeah, that's how I do it. I like to watch the day of that we record. I watched it this morning because I
bet you did.
Need to be fresh. You know what I mean? I mean, and I'm still not going to remember no names. So I wish somebody would say something. It don't matter if I watched it 10 minutes ago.
That makes it worse. That makes it absolutely worse. So that y'all know, Chrissy be watching the shows day of. She still be forgetting names.
Yes, that's what I do.
People, places, things.
Listen, I gave birth. I have a whole child, and we have this thing called mom brain. It is real. And until you all learn to accept it, my brain will never be the same. Okay? Ever.
You sounded like RFK right now. But shout out to everybody. Happy belated Easter. Josiah shouted it out. And yes, if you celebrate all the Easter related holidays, shout out to y'all. I hope y'all had a good time. If y'all into the bunnies things and the dressing ups and the going to church and the Easter egg hunts and the dinners and all of that, like I hope y'all enjoyed all of that you got to partake in. For sure.
A good time was had. Yeah.
So, Miss Chrissy, allow me to reintroduce myself.
My name is Ho. Every time you say that, it's in my head. The song is just playing. It just like that. I can't help myself.
How does it go? I'm sorry, I missed that. What'd you say? How does it go? What does it do? What did you do?
Just continue.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I just wanted to make sure I know you was with it.
You heard. Just continue. Them braids too damn tight.
Was it one bunny ear or two? I just want to make sure that I got it right because I don't want to disrespect you by only doing one. If you
you don't want to disrespect me whilst disrespecting. Let's just continue.
Are you speaking the King's English right now?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Okay, you've taken me back.
Well, let us thou partake in Power Book 3 recap. All right, let's talk about the opening scene that left us last episode on a cliffhanger. Unique and Raq finally see each other face to face. Raq realizing, this dude is alive. He's not dead. He's not the Walking Dead. He's here in the flesh.
Yeah.
And Unique gives Raq what pieces of his mind he has left. Chrissy, tell me what you thought about that scene.
The word pieces is hella accurate because right now his little forehead is looking like a jigsaw puzzle. What the hell is going on? You know, first of all, Raq was all of us. because I know we were all screaming, he got this all wrong. We've been saying that this entire season, and Raq was literally saying this entire, she was like, oh, my son, I literally don't know what the hell you talk about, because we don't, Unique. You saw one thing, which was Ronnie getting bodied, and you concocted this whole story, which literally makes no sense, but rock on, King. So yeah, I mean, I felt like Raq was literally saying everything that we've been saying these past few weeks. Like he's so angry that he cannot see the truth. And no matter who is bringing that truth to him, he doesn't hear it. Only version that makes sense is his version. And that version is what's leading him on this path of destruction. He is literally taking out everything. And Raq finally figures out, oh, it was you that's been taken out, you know, moving all these pieces. And the part that kind of got me is when he was talking about, yeah, you know, all these niggas you done bodied. And she was like, that was my damn attorney. Like, you, of all things you got wrong, that was the main one. Because I wasn't sleeping with that man. He was trying to keep me out of jail. And you killed him. Like, Unique made so many moves while he was dead. And every last one of them really just made no sense. But in his mind, he's doing what he thinks is right. And Raq, she has, what can you do other than just be like, all right, because the wrong thing that she could have said, he would have killed her. Like I think in that moment, she realized maybe he was crazy and was kind of just like, yeah, whatever. Because what else do you do when somebody pops up in your house and is eating your ice cream?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I don't know what I probably would be in shock too. Like, why the fuck did you finish my ice cream? I was coming home to finish that.
Yeah,
First of all, I left that little bit for me, not for you. Secondly, why are you alive in my house? What's going on? So I'm gonna push back a little bit of what you said about every one of his moves didn't make sense since he's been dead, quote unquote.
Yeah,
I think it makes sense for him based on his perspective.
Yes.
I don't think that they were nonsensical. If I thought somebody killed me and set me up to take me out, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that when I hit them back, I hit them hard enough so that they will never get up. That's why he linked up with Phil Russo, Sal's people, because he knew he needed the power behind him. That's why he now reconnected with Quan so that he'd have the product to move and be able to do what he's doing, which is take over Raq's block.
Yeah,
that's what he wants to do. He wants to take over Raq's whole operation. This is why he's been hitting the Chinese restaurant. That's why he started all those types of commotions, because he wanted to disrupt her business and weaken her, humiliate her, and then finally dispose of her. But he's also being driven by hate and an irrational demeanor, right?
Yeah.
That doctor, all the way back in the beginning of the season, told early he's going to be acting insane. He's going to have some type of mental issues if you don't get him to a real hospital.
Yeah.
Animals he's seen with those similar type of head trauma, they're the ones who are snapping, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
They have short fuses. They have short tempers. They think irrationally. They're kind of schizophrenic in a sense. And this is what's happening to him now. You see it with Raq, where Raq is straight telling him, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
We felt things. I wouldn't kill you. It wasn't me. Ronnie tried to set up like she's telling him everything that we know that is true. But he ain't trying to hear it.
But also, she's not good with the truth. Let's just be honest here. You know, Raq, for what it's worth, she's a well-known liar to her son, to her family. So honestly, if I'm him, kind of like you playing devil's ad, like I wouldn't believe shit coming out of her mouth either. That's just me. Because at the end of the day, Raq is for Raq. And she's going to do what she needs to do to preserve her business, her lifestyle. And if you get in her way, she's going to find a way to move you out of it. So I kind of get him not believing a word coming out of her mouth.
Yeah, especially given his current situation.
His head.
Right. He's in a state of perpetual concussion. He has head trauma. He's paranoid, for lack of a better term. That's
paranoid. A good word.
And now needs to latch on to whatever he considers the truth. Because and all this other stuff don't matter. He has to latch on to the truth. And the truth is, the only explanation that makes sense is she's been setting up. And he mentioned DEF CON. He mentioned all the people. Like, yo, you get with them and then you set them up and you take their work. You basically, he tried to make it seem, this is how irrational that he's getting. This is how delusional that he's become. He thinks that Raq was able to convince Ronnie to turn against him and try to kill him.
Yeah.
Ronnie.
That nut.
Ronnie of all people. And he's not trying to hear it. Now, the other thing is, I think he's fueled by jealousy. Because remember, he had a chance to take out Lou. He didn't do it. He could have got Kanan if he wanted to. He got him into his old spot. He co-opted O-Cee. Yep. So he could have taken out Kanan if he wanted to. He said that he wants to take out everybody around her and then take her out. But the only dude that he killed that was directly connected to her was Andre, because he thought she was dealing with him romantically, dealing with Andre romantically. That's why he took him out. So laced in with the delusion and the paranoia and the head trauma and all he's got going on, it is a huge layer of jealousy that he feels betrayed in multiple ways by Raq. And this is how he's lashing out. This is how he's crashing out.
Crashing. That's a better term. And I do agree with you. Jealousy definitely is the charge here, because he felt a way the moment she said, like, we had a thing or whatever she said something like that.
Yeah, we felt things.
We felt things. And he was like, the fuck? We ain't feel shit. The only thing I felt was the need to kill you. Okay, and take out everyone around you. So I firmly believe that you're right. And I in that moment, I wonder why Raq didn't mention the pregnancy. But again, like I said, you know, I do believe that is going to be the thing that saves her in some way at some point. So, but I also feel like that entire scene, this entire episode, this entire season so far is leading me to believe that young Raq got a target on her back. I don't know that she's gonna make it out. This is a rough time for her. This episode did nothing but line up in every way that she is in trouble.
Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. We are talking about Unique and Raq Standoff in episode 7 of Raising Kanan. Now, I know we weren't bugging. We weren't bugging because his line of thinking, even when Unique says, y'all, you killed Raq, you killed Ronnie, you killed Howard, and then all of y'all come walking out, y'all was smiling. I saw y'all smiling. I don't remember smiles.
It wasn't no, yeah.
I don't think they were smiling. They got out of there.
Sesame Street? Like, I'm like, what was he watching? Sesame Street? Because these niggas wasn't smiling. Like, Kanan was low-key still frustrated with his moms. Like, that whole set, like, he literally is making up things in his head,
right?
At this point,
100%. He's making them up, and we know because we saw what actually happened. And anytime Raq tried to tell him that it wasn't the case, he wasn't trying to hear it, because Unique thinks all Raq does is lie, and he's like, I don't want to hear the lies anymore. You try to kill me, and now I'm going to take everything back from you, which makes me think he probably still felt a little bit of a way that Raq and him started working together. And he even said, you sent me to go get the connect, and now I'm off the board, and you swoop in and take the opportunity. You know, it's basically like, yo, the opportunity was the opportunity. It wasn't because you were gone and I wouldn't have taken you out to get it, but he's not hearing it. And he's not hearing it from anybody, because when he decides to link back up with Pernessa, you know, they have the conversation. And he tells Pernessa, yo, boom, 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 Raq linked up with Ronnie to take me out. And Pernessa is the one that kind of says, you know, Raq is capable of it, but I just don't see that. And he spazzes out on her. He straight goes wild. He has the wildest outburst. You don't believe me? You won't stand by your man? Da-da-da. He starts stepping. She has to like calm him down. Like, baby, I'm here. He's gone. He's gone. He doesn't have the capacity for rational thought past a certain point. He believes what he believes, and anybody who opposes him is out to get him.
I feel like that's what.
Against him.
Go ahead. Say what you said.
I was gonna say anybody who opposes him is not for him. Is against him. And he can't trust anybody who's against him. So the fact that Pernessa saying that makes him automatically tense up.
I actually feel too that that's what almost makes him scarier than Ronnie. You know, like Ronnie, when you saw him, you knew that nigga was crazy. Okay, like there was no getting around it. Unique though, you can have a rational conversation with him, and then he will flip like that, and that makes him it's scary in a way that no matter, you could say the wrong thing on the wrong day, and he will spaz and take you out. Like people like that, you can't trust. Personally, if I was Pernessa, I wouldn't want him around my child because God forbid the kid screams too loud or throws a book. You know, like kids be kidding. And what if they do the wrong thing and he spazzes out on the kid? Like it's a very unhealthy situation. Like Unique genuinely needs help. But unfortunately, the only person that really knows the severity of where his head is at is Early, and Early's only about Early at this point. My guy is just making money on both ends, but it's almost for Unique to be that way, even with Pernessa. You know, I felt for her in a way, but I also knew that she had some sense because she was like, I know Raq is capable, but that doesn't sound like something that she would do. Not only that, but Ronnie. Like, I don't even think that's something he would do. Like, he was crazy in that type of way. So it's scary that Unique would spaz out on her in that way. I don't think that's the last time we're going to see him go in on her like that, especially now that he's locking her down in such a serious matter. Like, you can't go nowhere. You can't do nothing. You stuck here. Make it your own. Like, Unique is really on one right now, but I understand that everyone that he cares about would make him a weakness. That's a weakness for him. You could take them and kidnap them and he would have to give in. And so he's making the necessary moves to set himself up to be able to take over in the way that he wants. I feel for everybody on the opposing path because baby, he's on a war path right now. God bless.
Yeah. And listen, I knew when he told Pernessa, fuck your moms. He's like, yo, I gotta see my mom. You can't go to the south side no more. That's why I got you in this big house. Well, you know, I gotta go see my moms. Now fuck your moms. It's like, yo, he got dialysis. Like, what are you talking about? It's like, yo, I will send one of my guys to go take your mom to the doctor, but I ain't going to. I've been dead once and I'm not gonna be dead again. Not for you, not for Jerome, not for anybody. That's how you know he's on a different type of time. He is in survival mode.
Oh, that's a good way of putting it.
Survival mode. To the point where he's saying he doesn't care. He will not die for his son again because his son. What death is like, you know, won't die for Pernessa, won't die for himself. He won't put himself in a position to be killed again. So she needs to do whatever it is that he says. So she doesn't have no more agency, no more control. She wanted him back, and now she's got him. Because I don't think the old Unique would have did that to her.
I don't think so. Especially not the mom.
Sentiment, but he wouldn't have said it like that.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree. He's on a different time. Like you said, this is not the same Unique. It's I love that you use the term survival because that's exactly what this is. Like there's no sense in what he's doing. Like, and the fact that you don't care about your own child, like you're not willing to die for your child. Like you personally, if I was her, I would run for the hills. Like I would be out of there because whatever he's on, he's going to take you down with him.
1,000%. He's gonna take you down with him, and he's gonna make sure that he ain't gonna be dead. That's just what it is. He's gonna make sure that he ain't gonna be dead. So we gotta make sure. They gotta make sure that they cross all the T's and dot all the I's because this dude ain't playing. Unique is not playing. Unique wants all of the smoke. That man, he doesn't. He's seen what the other side looks like, and he ain't trying to go back, right? And he's bossed up. he's bossed up. He's got the backing, and now that's messing with business. And that's where we get to the Stefano of it all. Because they finally have to talk to Stefano to let him know, yo, Unique is back. We think somebody's backing him, because that's what Raq has been saying. Raq has been saying that somebody got to be backing this dude. He wouldn't just pull up. So he has to have somebody big backing him. And they go to Stefano, and that's where they kind of figure out that it may be somebody from Jersey. It might be this. He has to figure it out. But he doesn't want them to retaliate. Doesn't want them to retaliate because it makes them look bad.
Yeah.
And that's when they have the conversation, which is what this is sounding like, where he said, this is becoming to look like a proxy war, where they're basically getting these black gangs to fight a war that the mob bosses themselves don't want to get physically involved in or hands-on involved in. They let the underlings,
right,
or the little guys. He said the two big guys get the little guys to fight for him, and that's why Marvin was like, "Oh, we the little guys." Like that's crazy, right?
Excellent.
But Stefano, it just seems like everybody's fed up with Raq shit this season, including Stefano, when he has that meeting, Chrissy, with Marvin to tell him, "Yo, something's got to change. We might need a new direction, a new perspective, and I think it should be you."
One thing I'm finna say about Marvin is you can do and say a lot of things to him, but you are not gonna pit him against his family. Like, that's just one thing. Like, I love that even in that moment with Stefano saying, you know, it could be you, that he was like, I don't ever want to have this conversation again. Because the one thing you're not finna get me to do is to turn against my blood, my sister. And as much as he's done for Stefano on the side, these little side gigs, in Marvin's mind, he didn't think that this was a damage to Raq in any way. He didn't think that it would harm her business. It would harm her. In his mind, it had nothing to do with her. So now that you're bringing this to me and you asking me to essentially take my sister out, that shit not finna fly with me. I'm not doing it. I don't ever want to talk about it again. Don't even think about it in my presence, because you're not going to like the outcome. And so you can say what you want about Marvin. You know, Raq can yell at him and call him all these names like she does when she gets upset. But at the end of the day, he rides for her. Like, he is there for her. He takes care of anything she needs to get done. Like, and I respected Marvin in that moment. But what I also realized in that moment is they are in fucking trouble. Like, when the guy that you are coming to is telling you that the business you're running is not working, you've got to know that he's going to find a way to take you off the board. If you're not going to do it, he's going to find somebody else. And that's what it told me, is that now Raq she's in a situation like Unique is really doing everything and making all the necessary moves, where now her boss is like, I really don't need her. Now I could just go fuck with him. If he's, you know, uniting and doing all this stuff over here, I can use that more than I can use you, because right now you don't have any corners. You don't have anything that I'm benefiting from. So why would I want to fight your fight? So I don't know, but that conversation told me a lot. It told me that Raq finna have some bullets coming her way if they don't figure this shit out real soon.
And it's not even just the bullets. Stefano wants her out now and picking Marvin. It's just hilarious that Marvin is the same dude that if you cough wrong, he's shooting you. So I mean, it depends on what type of headaches you want in your business, right? I think with Stefano, he's more so thinking there's going to be a diplomatic way to solve this. But Raq is in too deep because she has a personal tie to Unique. He asked her, like, I hope that isn't going to be an issue. If what's got to be done's got to be done. She said, you don't got to worry about feelings with me. And that's what it is.
I don't believe that.
I don't know. That was kind of shaky. But Stefano is looking at it and saying, yo, if we got to negotiate something, she cannot be in the head, because she has an effectively rocked the apple cart for the business.
Yeah.
Stefano had Quan. He had people dealing. She comes in. Quan don't want to deal with her. They got to deal with a whole new connect.
Yeah.
Now they're on the verge of a turf war when everything was calm. Because as you remember, when we first meet Stefano, he's dealing with cops and things like that, and he's getting out of stuff. So he wants things to be calm. And he also, as the head of the families, can't look weak. So that's why they can't negotiate.
Yeah, you like right here trying to balance both sides. Exactly. You can't look weak, but you also don't want no smoke. That's tough place to be in. So for him, he's like, I got to keep this calm. Like whatever it is y'all finna do, don't put my name in it. And I ain't mad at him for that. Like that's real.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. So I think I understand where he was coming from, and Marvin, to his credit, wasn't trying to hear that. He ain't betraying his family for nobody, right? Heard it, said, all right, you know what? That's the last time that we have this conversation. And Stefano ain't done with him. He's like, yo, I got to handle something. You know what was interesting about that scene? He mentions that somebody's son was found in Howard Beach in the water and they don't know who did it. I was wondering, did Marvin do it? Because he looked a little squeamish when it happened. Yeah. I couldn't really think. Chat, you let me know if I read that wrong or read that right. I can't remember who it would be that they would be discovered now. I have no clue.
Would they be discovering now? Ooh.
I don't know, but it just shout out to Jaleel. I remember that. Yes, that's what it was. I think that was the
Jaleel.
When he told Early, when he said there's a guy that had a $10,000 debt.
Yep.
And he said he's a made man, he don't gotta pay it. Yep. And Marvin told him to handle it.
Yep. Facts. Okay.
And that dude, I guess that's how Early handled it.
Damn. Yeah. Early handled it exactly how Marvin would have. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, Marvin that's exactly 100% how Marvin would have handled it. I don't know if he would have did it knowing who the person was.
Now that is true.
But yeah, he did tell Early to handle it. That's why I was like, I said he's involved in it somehow, but I can't think about where it was. But yeah, it was Early. Yep. Thank you, Chad. That's why we got the best power community on the internet.
Period.
Power community on the internet and on YouTube, because they are on it as always. That can help us fill in the blanks. So that is something to monitor. More to come on that.
Yeah.
Good thing
hold on now, because Stefano did tell him, like, remember, whatever pops off with this dude, you, Marvin, this falls on you. So that, I think that's why he brought it up to Marvin, because he's like, yeah, like, your man's, if this is something he did, you are going to have to deal with the consequence of that action. So Marvin really, when he pushed off Early, like he was like, do what you got to do, because he was in the middle of some other stuff. Like, that is crazy that you telling him to handle it was the choice that he made. Like, I think that's going to come back to bite him in the ass.
I mean, he said to handle it. He didn't say kill nobody.
Yeah.
So, that interpretation of the order can be disputed. But one thing that did come out of this that was really cool was when Marvin went back and talked to Raq, he admitted finally that he was doing things for Stefano.
Yeah.
And they had the back and forth where Raq was saying to him, like, yo, why did you lie to me? Why didn't you just straight up? And he's basically like, yo, I did some side work. It wasn't nothing to talk about. I didn't want to have this whole conversation. But my life doesn't revolve around you. I can do other stuff also. But it is something where Raq is saying that, yo, you lying to me. And I'm like, well, Raq, y'all all lie to each other. Y'all all lie to each other. So I don't think you could be really tight about that. But I thought it was cool. I think he felt like he had to tell her because of what Stefano offered. Once Stefano crossed the line, now he has to be clean with it, because if that got out, that he even had that conversation without Raq knowing, or at least hearing him admit that he did link up with Stefano on multiple occasions, that makes Marvin look crazy.
Yeah. Marvin already be looking crazy in these streets, but yeah, you're right. Like it was, even when Raq said, like, well, we're having the conversation now. Like, you talking about you didn't want to have the conversation. Eventually the conversation was going to have to be had, but is very telling that Marvin made that statement of my life doesn't revolve around you. Like, and that is true. Like, when was the last time they had a conversation about anything outside of the business? Like, they don't talk, they don't know nothing about what's going on. At least Raq doesn't. She doesn't care to know anything about her brothers if it doesn't involve her in some way. So, you know, I did love that, you know, Lou is, I guess, now back in the family, so to speak, you know, after, you know, Unique sees Raq, he's there at the table, you know, ready to make decisions. And before, you know, Marvin does have that conversation with Raq, Lou was there. And I love that Lou is, well, it's sad that it took Famous dying for him to want to be back, but I do love that he is back in the mix with his family, because for these last few, you know, episodes, seasons, he's just been doing his own thing in that studio. He hasn't really been involving himself in family matters. So to see them, you know, the three of them together again, even though unfortunately it is because their mother is passing, them being in her house, it was good to see the three of them able to have conversations and communicate as brothers and sisters, because sometimes you forget they're related by the way Raq be talking to him. No, for real.
It is true. It is true. She do talk to her family. She talked to her family like they some soldiers, and we spoke about that for the whole last season. She has softened up. I will give her credit. She did apply the feedback, and she has softened up a bit. For Raq, she softened up a bit. She ain't telling anybody in her family that she owned them. She ain't mildly cursing people out instead of blatantly cursing people out.
The level,
or like passionately, down. I should say. Yeah, you asking her, because she was like in space. She at least brought it down to the Earth's atmosphere. You feel me? But this is definitely a great segue into that scene where the Thomas siblings pretty much said goodbye to their mom.
Yeah,
they have that conversation where Lou and Marvin are over there and they're talking, and then Raq is over there, and then they have that conversation where they tell Raq, Mom asked us to end her life, to kill her, because she doesn't want to suffer. And Raq indignantly looks at them and said, why did she ask me? And Marvin said, because she knows that you would want her to suffer. And Lou is like, Marvin, you know, and he says it like, yo, I'm not saying it to be mean or to get at Raq, but we calling it what it is. We know what y'all relationship is, and there's plenty of evidence to the point that she might want her to suffer. And at the end of the day, you know, Marvin tells her, like, go see her. And you know, he tells her the whole plan about the dope in the IV and that she won't get up. And at the end, he tells her, go see her. The nurse is taking a break. You'll be alone. And kind of gives her that look to say, we know you're the one who has the strength to do it. Lou doesn't want to do it because he knows he'll relapse, more than likely he does. Marvin don't want to see his mother dead. And he doesn't want to be the hand that ushers her into the afterlife. He doesn't want to be her personal euthanizer, right? Like, he doesn't want to do that. He probably doesn't enjoy taking life, and especially if it's somebody that he cares about and he knows, he ain't with that. So they know Raq is the one who is the Raq of the family, and she will take those type of L's. She will accept the burden if what's got to be done has to be done. That's what she's about.
That is a tough burden to bear, boy. I don't care how hard of an individual you are. Like, you know, I felt that. What got me was when Marvin said, like, she knows you want to see her suffer. And even Raq was like, yeah, you right. Like, like you not lying. Like, that's who I am. Like, I don't have that rah mom and daughter relationship with her. But what I found was the most profound part of this episode, probably so far of this season, was that conversation that she does in fact have with her mother, the last conversation. And, you know, they go back and they talk about, hey, remember my birthday party? You know, Raq almost got a chance to humanize her mother in a way. Like, she finally remembered her mother, not Joyce, not the woman who was demanding money, but her mother. And knowing that she's the one that has to make the decision to end her mother's life, seeing those tears run down, her face. Patina Miller was acting her ass off in that scene. Okay. Like that was gold. Holding her hand, pushing the medicine through that entire scene. Like I'm not even gonna, y'all know I'm quick to cry. It almost brought me to tears because I can't imagine having to make that decision as the leader of the family. I don't care how hard you are, how many people you've killed. That is still the woman who brought you into this world. That is still your mother. And you are making the decision to take her out of her pain. And that's a really hard thing to have to do, to euthanize your parent. And I got to give respect to Raq when she earns it. And that definitely was a moment that she didn't want to have to do it, but she did. She did it for her family. She did it for her mom. She did it so that her mom didn't have to suffer anymore. And that was a beautiful thing.
She said, you're my only daughter. And Raq said, you my only mother.
Yeah.
That was a powerful way to end the episode.
It was.
I didn't even realize that was the end because it's not like I'm watching time codes.
Yeah.
And when it ended, I was just like, whoa.
Seeing went black. I was like, God damn.
That was a deep way to end. And it was powerful. It was somber. You never want your family members to go out like that, and to be able to have the strength to help put them out of pain. I totally get a lot of people who ain't want to do it. I ain't built like that. Yeah. Not at all. Not at all. Because I know I'd have to live with it.
Yep.
Even if it was sanctioned, quote unquote. I'm not that. I couldn't do that. I couldn't live with that. And I'm kind of like with Lou on that. Nah, I wouldn't be able to do it. No, sir, not me. So that was really powerful. And I think it got it across. And we finally see the parallels that they make between raising their kids, Raq and Marvin raising their kids, and how they were raised by Joyce. When Lou comes to that epiphany where he says, maybe she just did well what she could do well.
Yeah.
And the other parenting thing she just wasn't good at. She just couldn't do it. But she did what she could well. They bring up the story about the dogs and how Raq was pestering Joyce for a dog. So she had everybody who had a dog in the neighborhood come to the crib and wish Raq a happy birthday so she could see all them dogs and stop bugging her mom for a dog, which I think that's kind of counterintuitive, right? Like
I would want one even more.
Dogs, and you think she's gonna stop talking and asking you for a dog, especially if she sees all them dogs?
But how sweet is that? Like, like your mom to go walking around asking everybody.
Right. They all came to the house, right? Like so. Unless it was like a deal where the neighborhood would let her play with the dogs, whatever. I don't know. I don't know if that was like a smart idea, but it was definitely a thoughtful idea. She could tell from that story. That's what kind of spurred her to go see her mom, because she finally saw her as a mom.
Yeah.
Not as this living embodiment of trauma that Raq has had to deal with for a minute. So that it was really powerful. Even when they said who was messed up, was it us? Was it her? I don't know. And I think Marvin is one that said probably both. And Raq is like, well, kids are innocent, right? Kids are innocent. And they bring up their kids. So you think that's what our kids would say about us? And it's powerful. It was a powerful conversation because they finally could see the parallels in trying to raise your kid the right way. Maybe you don't have the tools to, but you are trying. You want the best for them. Marvin has that conversation with Juke where he's like, yo, I'm giving you this gun for protection. I'm not giving it to you to be the Punisher in these streets. You're not going to be in this life. Like, I do not care if you believe you're in this life. I am in this. I'm trying to keep you out. We coexist in the same space, but you are not in this life, and I do not want this life for you. So please stay out of this life. That's what he wanted. And of course, we know she doesn't listen.
What kid does, though? When a parent tells you not to do something, you 9 times out of 10 are going to do what they tell you not to do. Unfortunately, that's just how our brain be working, I guess. I don't know. Like I feel like when you tell a kid don't eat that candy, they gonna eat it. You know, that's just what they do. So yeah, it's unfortunate that we know she doesn't listen to him, but damn, he really tried harder than we can say Raq did with Kanan. Personally, I do feel like he's tried. Raq sent her son to kill a cop.
That was in season 2, though. She tried a whole season to keep him out. It didn't happen. So she was like, yo, I can keep him safer if he's closer. I can't really. It's not like she didn't try. She tried. I mean, she damn near, not even damn near. She set up one of his mans to get killed because Kanan killed someone in Unique's crew, and they needed to pin it on someone in order to save his life. Because remember, streets need a body. Streets needed a body. Unique's crew needed a body because you killed one of their peoples.
Thanks.
And that was supposed to teach him, even though they were hiding it from him, once he found out, that was supposed to teach him this life ain't for you. This life is too real. You got to stay out. That motherfucker didn't learn. He wasn't trying to stay out. And now we here. 3-4 series later.
Kanan, he don't listen to nobody. That boy just, if it got to do with Raq, he don't hear it. And I think somebody in the comments said that generational trauma is real. Okay. Like the same way Raq don't be listening, he don't listen. That's just the way it goes, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, Raq tried. She ain't try hard enough, in my opinion.
I get it. I ain't gonna argue with you. I think I'm a little more empathetic because we saw the journey throughout the whole season. But that is a good transition into Kanan's beef. Kanan joined the list of people who beefing with Raq. He's mad because Unique returns and they don't have a plan of attack.
Yeah.
Raq is telling them, yo, we got to chill. We need to find out who's backing him first before we go in guns blazing, because it could be another situation, just like when they were beefing with the Italians last time, that they could have an army and we're not built for it. So we got to chill. And that's when Kanan starts bringing up how it's all on her. She's the one that's messing up. And even he says, yo, Uncle Marvin, we got dudes who have hit us all up, and we supposed to stand pat. He's like, that don't seem wrong to you? Like that don't seem like a conflict to you? And I know Marvin was kind of like,
well, it kind of do, but shut up.
You kind of right, but you gotta stop talking to your mother like that. Like he was like, yo, I told you. When he left, he said, I told you that boy need a belt.
Need a belt. That got me. I started cracking up.
Was like, yo, yeah. Shout out Westbrooks when he said, he was like, Uncle Marvin, do you feel safe?
Would you stop?
Does that sound right to you?
Him, please.
My fucking mother gotta sit in here. I don't want to rest. I want to protect myself.
Stop. Why are you locking your jaw like that?
I fucking protect myself.
Listen, they're both right though. If you think about it, I mean, I get Raq wanting to know who's backing him. That makes 100% sense. But also, like in the meantime, like we got all of our guys unable to work because Unique has taken over every corner. Like there's got to be a way we can do both, because right now the solution of just finding who's backing him isn't serving us well. We need a solution, ma'am. Like
they need a solution. They need, I don't know, they need counseling. They need all of that. But that's where Kanan is like, yo, you have been the source of all these issues. This is where Kanan and Stefano, they kind of see eye to eye. They're like, yo, the common denominator in all this is you, Raq. You don't got stuff or lock as much as you said you did. So now we in this situation, and he don't want to hear it. On top of that, you got Kanan dealing with a multitude of problems. He got robbed. His spot finally got hit. It looks like O-Cee made that move, and nobody can find him. So now he's on the street looking for O-Cee. Now that's going to be a storyline. If he finds him, he better find him with at least 50% of that money, because boy, is looking trouble. Crazy. I hope Unique didn't buy that new crib with Kanan's money. Oh man, I was thinking about that. I was sick for him. He had a trunk full of money. All there was like a measly 100 left.
Kanan, was it 100? Was that
100? Might have been a 20. He left that shit and left the door open.
It was just flailing in the wind, child. I was like, might as well just let that thing go.
Yo, he was heated. Then on top of that, as he's driving to look for O-Cee, he sees his mom handing some cops some cash. And now he's jumped to the conclusion that Fame was killed by Raq through the cops. Because like they said, and when he was having that conversation with Juke, he said, it got me thinking, if it was cops that did it, why would they do all of that, dump his body? And we find out he was in the Bronx. He was in the Bronx and they dumped his body out there. It wasn't even in Queens. It was in a whole other borough. So why would the cops do it? And they deduce that the streets made the call and the police carried out the hit. So now, because Kanan sees Raq giving the police money, he automatically thinks that Raq had a hand in killing Famous. When Raq has those businesses, you remember the cops were smashing the windows and doing all of that?
Yep.
That's what I thought. I thought she was just paying them off like everybody else was getting paid off. I didn't even think. Once I saw it, I said, yo, is he going to think that she killed Famous? Like, nah. But he did. He is so distrusted of his mother that he thinks, maybe because of the D-Wiz situation, he thinks that she is capable of killing Famous. I don't think so. I know she didn't, but I don't think so, just because Famous was way more closer to the family than D-Wiz. Like, D-Wiz was Kanan's man. Right. Famous is like the family's friend. He's a family friend. He's not just one person in the family.
He was like hurt. Like, they all looked at Famous as if he was like Marvin looked at him as his nephew. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how everyone looked at Fame. But like, I thought when she was paying the cops that because she don't got her lawyer no more that got the inside mans, I thought she had a new inside man. I thought that's what she was doing. I was like, oh, okay. Like, she just got to, get somebody on the till to let her know what's going on because she's no longer got her attorney. So Kanan deducing that, I was like, man, that's a reach. That is a strong reach. And I don't know. I still believe that somebody we know had to have killed Fame. Otherwise, again, I'm gonna be upset because it doesn't make sense for you to introduce a new character, a new person to kill off a beloved character like Famous. So I do believe somebody in the family did it, or somebody in the universe, let's just say that, did it, in the power universe that we know of did it. I don't know if it was Raq though. Like, what would be her reasoning behind it? Like, I get Fame knew a lot. He knew the inner workings of that family because he was, like you said, he was a family friend. So, I mean, maybe that could be the reason, but I just don't see her making that call.
Nope, me neither. Me neither. I don't like. I'm here to be shocked if it was her, but from what they've shown us in the show so far, I don't think it's her. I just don't think it's her. But I think it's a vehicle for him to spaz out or for him to act irrationally, for him to distrust his moms even more. Yeah, it's funny when Juke tells him, when Juke tells the Marvin and Raq that Kanan is grown, and they're like, what do you think we should do? And she says, listen. Now I'm kind of like, the way this man be jumping to the conclusion, I don't know if we should be listening to him.
I don't know.
Because he definitely was throwing a lot of stones when he tried to mention when Raq was messing up, when, oh yeah, you linked up with Ronnie who ended up kidnapping you or trying to set you up, and you killed Buck 20. You got into it with multiple different forms of people. You got into business with Snaps and Pop. And now I got to deal with that. Like, so Raq has been cleaning up his messes for a minute.
She has.
So I don't know if he was the best person to point out how Raq was messing up unless he was taking responsibility for messing up as well.
He ain't never going to do that.
That was just hilarious. So I'm eager to see, because now that he knows he lost all this money, he's seen Raq give bribes to the police. Now he's jumping to the conclusion and saying Raq killed Famous. So now it's like, okay, are you about to ride out on your moms?
That's what it's
like. Is that what's really going to happen? What is really going to happen right now? Like, I'm thinking about that. I'm like, is he really going to spaz out on his mom? Is he really going to carry out a hit? Is he really going to try to run up and murder his mom? Like, I don't know.
Team up with Unique?
Huh?
Team up with Unique, maybe?
I don't know if it's gonna go that far because remember, Unique thinks that Kanan had a hand in Ronnie's murder.
Now that is
true. Even though Ronnie tried to kill Unique still thinks he had a hand in it. So he probably wouldn't trust him anyway.
That's true.
Probably wouldn't trust him anyway. So
Kanan,
it's good. Go ahead.
Don't kill your mom. Like, I know she sent you to kill your dad. I get it. Like, but at the end of the day, I just feel like that's a poor decision. But I mean, hey, we've seen many of people in the Power Universe kill off people. We've seen Tariq kill his dad, and he did pretty well for himself. I mean, right? Am I right?
I mean, he still got slandered from the afterlife in a letter form, which would never not be funny. So you know, who got the last laugh?
His own dad called him a bitch ass nigga from 6 feet under.
Yo, that was the classic pettiness, man. That man said, I know you're going to end up here one day, so my lawyer is going to wait. And the minute your ass gets into jail, you going to get this letter. You're going to get a tongue lashing from me. Like, imagine if you had an Alexa notification every time you did something wrong from like a parent or a friend that's posthumously here by their voice, and they just alerted you with a voice note that they pre-recorded because they knew you was gonna get all that shit.
Gonna fuck up. I felt it in my spirit.
Like, I felt it in my soul. I felt it from here.
From here,
up or down. I felt it from here.
That's
why I wanted to send this to you.
They so dramatic.
Really?
You know, that is something one of our parents would do, because Haitian parents are dramatic. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't put it past him to want to ride up on his mom. Like, at this point, we know Kanan hates his mom. He doesn't like not say it in every episode. He's already angry because he's lost his money. Like, at this point, anything is possible. This is not going to end well. That's where I'm at with it. I don't think it's going to end well.
Not at all. Not at all. I don't know. I mean, you got Snaps and Pop, who now looks like they're going to try to make the best deal for themselves because they don't want to be caught up in a war. Both sides are gearing up for action. It's going down. It's definitely going down. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Oh, you want to talk about Jukebox further transformation, finally pushing up on that shorty in the bar?
My God. Jukebox, you want to talk? First of all, she got the 2 braids, okay? She's slowly transforming, all right? She got them 2 braids riding down, just like her character in OG Power. And she's becoming, you want to talk about, I found myself? Sis found herself in a bathroom, okay? Having a 4-course meal, all right? Like, and then the girl is like, yeah, you know, let me get your. It's not like that. It ain't that.
Yeah, this was just recreation, dude. This wasn't.
Juke was usually the one catching feelings. Like, she's been the simp with everyone that she's encountered, and now she's literally just letting people eat the box and running. Like, this what we doing? We getting takeout?
Uncouth. You'd think after a little bathroom nookie that she could at least get the number. Like, damn, I can't even. I can't get your IG. Yeah, I can't get your IG.
She wasn't giving her shit.
I can't get your beeper number shit.
No, she said, you're not getting nothing. You're going to see this gun, though. You're going to see this gun and know I'm not the one to fuck with.
Eat the box and run, first of all, is fucking insane. Secondly, I can understand that you might not want them to have the house phone, but I'm like, damn, you can't give them a beeper. You can't give them the number to like your favorite salon. Like, something. Y'all can't meet up. You know y'all gonna see each other in this damn club again because it looks like it's the only club.
It's the only
club in Queens.
Club. Okay.
Oh, man.
It was takeout. She literally had takeout.
Takeout is crazy.
That's what it was. Okay. She went in there. She got her meal. She packed it up to go, and she left.
Put her gun to the side.
Cocked it to the side. She was ready.
I'm telling you, that's Juke right there.
She got her meal.
That's Juke. Before we get out of here, let's talk about your man B-Rilla.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
What happened to your man, yo? Why he set up that poor couple? That poor couple didn't even know. And to his credit, when they were talking about running up in the house where the people was in there, he was like, yo, that's not the deal. It was supposed to be smash and grab. We wasn't trying to go in there. Plus, this dude is going to know who I am. There's no way my tall ass with my unique voice is going to be able to get out of this without being implicated. They didn't care. He says, B-Rilla says, all right, well, I'm going to stay down here because I can't jeopardize my shit from y'all sticking him up and taking his cash. Run up in there. There's 25,000 gunshots. Like,
that was a lot of
gunshots.
Yeah.
They end up killing that couple in there. One of their mans get hit. And now B-Rilla has it on his mind that poor couple got murdered when he thought it was Lowell. Because even when he was in the studio with Lou,
yep,
and they were like, oh, Lowell said he'll be on his way. He has to deal with some family shit. And he was like, Lowell said he's be on his way. He said, they said it and I said it. Nigga like, Lowell is coming through. Yeah. And he sees him. And when he finds out that wasn't him or even his people, just people he rented to that got killed, he looked like he saw a ghost because he thought Lowell was out of here.
I think it's going to be Lou that figures that one out. Because, I mean, even Lou was like, why are you asking so many questions? Like, you could kind of see it on his face. You know, like you running real funny right now. Like, what's really popping off? But that whole situation was a mess from the moment he decided he was going to make that decision to rob Lowell. I knew it wasn't going to end well. Like, that whole thing was awful. Not only that, one of his mans got shot. Like, he got shot.
Yep. And
thank God this was before DNA testing was that good, because if the man's being shot, he would have been in jail in 24 hours with the DNA tested. So, you know, he got lucky that we're not in that time frame. But yeah, I hope the dude survives. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, he got shot in the arm, so it looks like he gonna be all right, but still B-Rilla's gonna have to be better. Cause I don't know what's gonna happen with him, but we're gonna see what happens with this little music storyline. It's starting to get power levels of what the fuck. And I love it. It's just hilarious. I want to see how he gets out of it. Anything else?
I got a question for you.
Okay. Well, let's go.
It's time for Chrissy's question of the week. I done made that up. Y'all run with it. Who?
Chrissy's question of the week.
Let's not, Jeff. I said
I'm repeating. I just want to make sure that I'm
run with it like them braids on your scalp. Now,
all right.
Let's just say this season, right? Who do you think from the main cast dies this season?
Ooh, death talk.
Good death talk.
Remember when we made those predictions about one of the Thomas people were going to get killed and none of them did? And they all got out alive.
That's why I feel like this season is the season.
If you ask for a top three, I'm going to say Lou.
Number one?
Lou. Yeah, Lou number one. Because I feel like it's the tragic story of him having a way out, but gets back in because of Famous's murder, gets tied up in this shit again. Remember, he almost died that season when he was caught in the house fire.
That fire, you're right.
He escaped, like he has narrowly escaped death
a couple of
tons of times when he was driving that car, heavy drunk, when he's in that house fire. So I'll say Lou. If I had to think of the main cast, Lou for sure. Like if I had to guess, if I had to put them in order, I'd probably say Lou, Marv, Raq.
Okay. And I am reverse. So
you think Raq is out of here this season?
Hear me out. I kind of said it earlier. I do feel like they are setting us up episode by episode for Raq's story to come to an end. And, you know, one thing that I like to follow is essentially trends in these episodes. Like I kind of called it with OG Power and Book 2. But I just feel like these episodes, they're telling the story of Raq. We're getting stories from when she's younger. We're seeing she had a miscarriage. We are seeing issues with Kanan. And now we've got Kanan talking about his mother is the one who killed Fame. And we all know with the previews and him telling that to what's
Juke.
her name? Juke. Oh, look at me. I done forgot Juke. Jesus. Now with him telling that to Juke, we know Juke also wants to put down whoever killed Fame. So, and we also know Juke is a stone cold killer, like based on who she is in OG Power. And we've been saying, what is it that is the thing that turns her? What is it? We've seen her operating this weapon multiple times this season. They made it known that she is very good marksman. I just feel like they're either setting it up for Juke to be the one that takes out Raq, but I do feel like Raq, this is the season where she will meet her end.
Okay. Yeah,
I can see if we are saying next season is the last season, right? If we're kind of saying that's where it's supposed to end, right? I can see it being a thing where we are avenging her death that entire season. Kind of, you know what I mean? Where we are trying to figure it out. But that's where, and that's just me playing devil's ad. But I do feel like Raq's story arc is leading us there.
I definitely respect it. I would just say, I don't know if they would let her go as an actress that early.
I can see
that.
Like,
you got to stay with the show until the show ends. Then we could do whatever with your character. Because as is the case of what we've been saying since this series began, they can do whatever they want with these characters, and it's going to make sense because it's a prequel. Yeah, we haven't seen any of those characters appear in OG Power. That doesn't mean that they're not around.
That is true.
So I could see a world where a Lou or a Marvin survive but escape Southside and never come back. So they've just been living in another city or another state for all these years since. You gotta remember, this is like early to mid 90s, right? So that means this is 20-something. We're now 30-something years.
That's so crazy.
Which is nuts. Like the fact that I did that math and I said, holy shit, it cannot be that long. But yeah, because 2000 was 25 years ago. Then you add another 10 for the 90s.
I don't want to think about it.
Right? It's like 35 years. So it's at least 30 years ago. So these characters are in their 30s. So it would be nothing. Shit, low key, if they come out with like this decade style, they could still look like themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't got to add a lot of makeup to make them look in their 60s.
That's true.
Maybe you could put like a little stuff here and there if you wanted to do that. But for the most part, especially with Black people, it's like just keeping it real, like age gracefully more often than not. So
yeah, you got a point.
There could be a world. I could see a world where they do a flash forward to the current times and those characters have interactions with like OG Power characters that we never saw before. Or maybe you see Kanan going to visit Marvin somewhere, or even Raq. Because we never heard what happened to Raq.
We never heard, which is why I'm thinking, I don't know. I feel like Lou is somebody that I just don't feel like will die. I feel like Lou has already been through enough. And if there's, our main thing has always been, what is it that made Juke turn? So for me, it would have to be her either losing Marvin or losing Raq. And because those are the two people she's closest to. So I could see it even being Marvin, where Marvin loses his life this season. But I do think we've got to see some type of movement with a main character. I don't think it's unique because we've already seen him die. Like, why would I don't want to see him die twice, is what I'm saying. But I'm not here for that. So I just feel like it's got to be like one of our main characters. They got to give us something. We got to go out with a bang, is what I'm saying.
I hear that. Let's get, and I see people saying, some people saying Unique, some people saying Pernessa, some people saying Jessica. When I believe when Chrissy is saying the main cast, we're talking about the consistent cast, not like this new. Like if we say who from season 4 is dying, but like from the main cast, we're talking about Kanan, Juke, Marvin, Lou, Raq.
The main, like the family. You know,
Unique is I consider him because he's been around since season 1. Like those, like the day ones, like the day ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, ain't nobody.
I mean, for what it's worth, I would have guessed that Famous was going to be gone this season, one way or another. So, well, we'll see. And he was there from the beginning, right? So that's what it is. Let's get to this super chat before we get out of here. K Matt, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, just wanted to say you guys are hands down the best Power Universe podcast ever. Tonight is my first time seeing and watching y'all. Wow. Love y'all. Well, thank you for joining the Power After Hours community, K Matt. I hope you subscribed. I hope you liked the video. I hope you did all of that. And I hope if you got anybody else in your life, friends, family, whoever that watches Power and you talk to them, you put them on about the show. This is beautiful to see, y'all, because this is when the call to actions actually work. When we say it every week and we tell you what to do with these videos, like, comment, and subscribe. Some one of y'all actually follow directions. And look at what we got. We got new people in the community that's exposed to our podcast for the first time and enjoying themselves. And that's what y'all could do too. If y'all watching this randomly, if the algorithm has sent you to this page and to this video, that's what we do, man. We talk about this show. We have a lot of fun doing it, and we love bringing in people from the Power Universe, whether you started at the beginning or you just watched Raising Kanan or you just started this season. It don't matter. Yes. Like, we here. We got a smart group of fans that follow us and be in the chat, our chat fam, who will put you on and help fill in the blanks. Like, it's beautiful, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for the kind words, and I hope you do stick around and tap in with us in the future.
Yes, thank you so much. That is so kind. Like, that makes me so happy to hear. Like, I love when we get new people up in here. And chat, let's convince Jeff. I put a little plug in his ear that I want us to rewatch all of the OG Power episodes with y'all. Y'all let Jeff know.
All of them. That whole series of Power. We did it 10 years ago. The deal was the first season of Power, because the first season was the first
season. Let's rewatch season 1 of OG Power together as a family. I say we do it, we chat through it, we have a good time. Let us know if that would be something y'all want to see. I want to see it in the comments, but let's convince Jeff.
If y'all want to convince me, it ain't going to be with chats. I don't even want y'all money. I don't want y'all money. I don't want y'all chats. Y'all know what y'all want. You want to know what I want y'all to do?
Send a friend.
I want you to like this video. I want you to subscribe to Power After Hours on YouTube, because when you subscribe on YouTube, we are able to reach people like K-Matt and many more people that are in the Power community. Folks who don't even know that there are people who review this show, who have a dedicated podcast where you don't see any other shows on Stars. You don't see any other shows, period. And trust me, there have been plenty of times where people in this very chat have been like, yo, do you watch this? Do you watch that? We should talk about this. We should talk about that. This show ain't coming back for 2 years, Jeff. Let's talk about something else. And I say, nah. We're not talking about nothing else. We talk about Power on Power After Hours. This is a labor of love and a community that we've built, and this is what we talk about. Not to say that I don't think the other shows are dope. We don't talk about them here. We only talk about here on Power. So if y'all have people in your life that you think would dig this podcast, they think they would have a good time listening and watching us, send them the link. Tell them to subscribe. What do we have? 1910 right now. We break 2,000 by the end of the summer. Actually, you know what? No, because we probably would be a summer thing. June 30th, you get us to 2,000, and I'll consider it. I'll strongly consider it. We're at 19. We're a little bit over 1910.
Y'all share this podcast. Let's run it up. I'm telling you guys.
Run it up. Be undeniable.
We can do this.
Be undeniable.
I believe in us.
That's what I would like. That's how you could convince me. Let's get new people in the community, because you know what's ill. We get new people in the community. That means we'll get more out of a season 1 watch along and watch back, and then reviewing the episode. And we're reviewing it from a perspective of knowing how the whole series ends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We'll from a different perspective, where we'll see certain plot points and how they're forming, and where certain aspects were in our face the whole time and we might not have seen it, and others we're only recognizing for the first time. This is a great thing to do. This is an excellent idea. But I need to be convinced. And the way to convince me is through bribes. And the bribe is subscriptions.
We can do this, guys.
Subscriptions are a whole lot of subscriptions. They're like a school of subscriptions.
I believe in us. I will sing a song. I believe in you and me. Like, we can do this. Wow. Jeff, the camera's in front of you.
I thought my Alexa went off and it was starting to sing songs. You know, when sometimes you ask Alexa to do something, like, Alexa, sing a song. And yo, listen, Alexa be singing, sounding like it wanted to go on American Idol. I'm like, oh, whoever programmed this, yeah, you need to quit this Alexa job. Alexa voice, please go record an album. So that's what that is. Thank you so much, K-Matt, for your super chat. Talking about this and that. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Okay, that's great. Great rhyme time. This was fun, guys. I'm excited for the future. It's great.
So, Miss Chrissy, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me everywhere online at Chrissy B. Davis. It's literally the same everywhere you go. What about you, Jeff?
Jeff J says all social media. Jeff J says on YouTube. And FYI, Chrissy, ever since we put out that call to action to say if y'all want us to rewatch the first season of Power, just get some subscriptions. I don't see nobody in the chat that says, all right, I'm about to send the link around right now. So y'all got a lot of work to do.
Wow.
Y'all got a lot of work to do, chat. Y'all got a lot of work to do. I'm just saying. I believe.
Your non-belief in our people is really concerning.
I said I believe, but I got to see it.
It's been 2 minutes. Maybe they're eating dinner. Maybe they're grabbing, their phone to share the link.
This is what I was waiting for. Look who said we're going to get it done.
Oh, fucking Jaleel.
Look who said we're going to get it done. Jaleel, we going to get it done? You have until June 30th
Jaleel,
for this channel to be at 2,000. Because guess what, Jaleel?
I be trying to help Jaleel
if it
every
don't
time.
happen, then y'all will have to free Jaleel one more time.
Do it.
That, and I don't even want to do it. Jaleel, though, I got mad love for him, but he does this to himself. Yo, shout out Jaleel. Don't put my feet to the fire, man. I believe in all people. So
that's what I said.
But you know what? I won't even ban you, Jaleel. I will just severely threaten the ban, because Jaleel is the one. He knew what was gonna happen when he said,
Jaleel, I'm with you. I'm with you, Jaleel. I sang a song. I believe in our people. I know we can do this. Jaleel, I'm just saying, I don't want you to be in jail.
You gonna sing at the free Jaleel telethon?
I will free my mans. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Jaleel not going to jail because we gonna hit that number.
Okay. I believe it. I know our community can do it. It's just, I ain't see any commotion or nothing like that.
It's 8 o'clock at night. Our people are probably, getting some water, getting a snack, dessert. Give them a minute.
I hear a lot of excuses. I don't hear a lot of subscriptions.
Wow, you are just so negative.
Where in this whole conversation have I espoused negativity? All I said was, I'm telling you, I'm reporting. I am not giving editorials. I am reporting. I reported that in the chat, I did not see no commotion, that Jaleel said, they gonna ban me, but fuck it, I'ma step up. That's a real chatter right there. Jaleel is real.
Don't do my man like that.
Jaleel is real. Because that man said, Jeff is gonna ban me for when I say this, but fuck it. Well, I'm gonna say it because I
hit that number, Jaleel.
Out on faith, not by sight.
When we hit that number, Jaleel, we gonna bring you on here live, okay? And we're gonna, you and me, Jaleel, we are going to get at Jeff because he don't believe in us. He don't. Jaleel, DM me so we can come up with a strategy. DM me, Jaleel. We need a strategy to figure this out.
You sound like DJ Khaled right now. Talk about they didn't think we were going to get to 2,000 subscribers. So what do? We got 2,000 subscribers.
Damn right.
Stay away from they.
Yeah, we got this.
Crazy. All right. Well, I believe in y'all. I think y'all do got this. And I want to see it happen for us. I want to see it happen for us. Because more than anything, all jokes aside, I just think that a lot of people would really dig this podcast and would love to be a part of the community and have a place to talk about power and really talk about power, like all jokes aside. So let's run it up. I would love to do that. That would be something cool to do over the summer.
We're the shit. Jeff and I, we are a time. Okay?
We're a good time, baby. We're a good time. All right, y'all. That does it for us. We've talked enough foolishness. We are out of here. Programming note. This week, there is no power.
Fuck, you said there was no breaks.
I said I thought there was going to be no breaks, but the break has happened. And right quick before we go, I'm going to tell you what my conspiracy theory is. I think that Stars goes into their system to figure out how many subscriptions are rolling off. Yeah. How many of those free subscriptions are ending at the same dates where Power airs? So whenever the majority of the subscriptions are about to end, that's when they do the 2 weeks off. So that's when they take a 2-week break. It's a week as the balloons fly up from your video.
Oops.
It's we're not going to be on for 2 weeks. Because it's not this Friday. So
I see what you're saying. I see.
We record in 2 weeks. But what they do is they say, okay, Friday the 1st, 5,000 subscriptions are going to free subscriptions are going to be canceled. Let's take a break then so that fans will have to find a way to watch the show. That's all I think. So that's my light conspiracy theory. So they are having a break. And shout out to Power TV fans. That was like one of the first tweets I saw when I was promoting the show. He was just like, yeah, we'll be back May 2nd.
That's crazy, man. Well, we'll see y'all. See y'all in May.
See y'all in May. Have a good rest of your April. And we will be back, I guess, May 5th. Cinco de Mayo, Power After Hours.
Oh.
Viva la Raza. And all of that. You know what I'm saying? It might be Margarita After Hours. We'll see. That's Chrissy. I'm Jeff, and you are amazing. This is Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast, and we will check y'all in 2 weeks. Have a great rest of your night.
I want you to sing it with me. They say this is a vintage time. Yeah. I just come from the poorest part. Right, like city, like I gotta make it. This is where it goes.